since he first turned a wheel.
I mean, he had to try so hard yesterday in the post-session interviews not to basically burst out laughing. He was so happy. I said to him, everyone's calling it a pink Mercedes. Does it drive like you think a Mercedes would drive? And he just, he's bursting because for the first time in a couple of years, he's got a car that he can lean on, he can push. He knows it's a good car. He knows intrinsically that he's got an absolute beast under him. And he couldn't contain himself.
And where do these guys, Renault, who have not had the cleanest of first 2 days, design their own car without, they've gone towards a Mercedes the nose, front wing combination, as have McLaren. But those two teams that are fighting, designing all their own stuff without the handiwork of Ferraris linked to Haas and potentially Mercedes linked to Racing Point. It's the whole debate, isn't it? Which will rage if they fall below those teams.
The debate is, the noise coming out of Racing Point at the moment is we had an injection of cash and could suddenly do things that we'd not been able to do before. And so with that in mind, we were able to look at the Mercedes, copy what they'd done, create it, build it, put it into effect, and make our car to be Mercedes. And, why nobody else has done that, we don't know. Now, do we think Renault has the same kind of budget as Racing Point? Do we think McLaren has the same kind of budget as Racing Point? I don't think they're that different. Why haven't McLaren just taken a million photos of Mercedes as the championship winning car and put out a carbon copy of the Mercedes? Why haven't Renault? Is it because that's actually impossible and the team's getting a bit more help?
Exactly.
Or had they not thought of it? That's the question.
They've tried though, haven't they? If you look at the design of the Renault and the McLaren compared to last year, they've gone towards a Mercedes concept without the blueprints of the Mercedes.
So here's the thing. You can copy a concept, but when something comes out that is, so close as to be almost indeterminate from the other, that's why the pit lane has questions.
In previous years, all we would have talked about is tyres. Less so this year, but we can hear more about them now. Down with Laura.
Well, here we go then, I'm with Mario Azzola, and we're talking, of course, tyres here with Pirelli, and I've got to ask you first up about Mercedes and DAS. How do you see that system, that steering innovation they have, affecting tyres and tyre strategy?
What I can tell you is that obviously every day, at the end of each day, we analyze tires from every team to understand which is the level of stress, if there is an issue. And of course, we analyze tires from Mercedes. There is nothing strange on the tires, so the system is working in a way that is not affecting the level of load on the tire or creating an issue. So the rest obviously is not my job.
No. Okay, what are you getting this week? What feedback are you getting from the teams on tyres in their 2020 models?
Well, first of all, we have conditions that are comparable to last year, so it's good to see how much was the rate of development of the cars in 1 year, considering that we have the same tire from last year. I believe that last year they collected a lot of data, so all the teams can better understand the tires, and they designed the car this year in a way to give more downforce and use the tires in a better way. Last year, if you remember, there were two kind of approaches: one to be faster on the straight and less downforce but less drag, and the other one to give more downforce but more drag on the straight. The second one was better for the tires because the tires didn't have any blister, any issue, any graining, so that was the right approach, and all the teams now have this approach clearly. From day one we saw incredible lap times, 1.3, 1.4 quicker than the first session last year, and this is giving us an idea on the rate of development of this car that is unbelievable in a situation of stability of technical regulation.
Track temperature